Welcome to the Revenue Builders Podcast with John McMahon and John Kaplan. This podcast is brought to you by the team at Force Management. Today, a segment from our episode on leadership, discipline, and relationship building with Coach John Mosley Jr. Coach Mosley is best known for leading East Los Angeles College and his role on Netflix's Last Chance U. His leadership philosophy is on full display in that show. Check it out. In this clip, Coach Mosley breaks down a simple but often overlooked principle. Rules without relationships lead to resistance. He explains why leaders who rely on compliance lose their teams and how genuine connection creates trust. If you're leading a team and expecting consistent execution, this is a perspective worth paying attention to. Let's dive in.
There's a lot of people that reached out that want me to do so many things. And they're like, dude, why don't you could cash in on this and that. But I can't do what John just said. I couldn't help that one. Like it takes so much energy to help one that I don't have time to run across the world and speak and do seminars and write 10 books. And I don't have time for that. I had people want me to do television shows and like be on like Survivor and do like crazy stuff. Like, dude, I, to be honest, I probably could have made, I know everybody will think I'm crazy. I probably could have made $1 million here in the last year. And I just like, it's just, I just don't have time. What am I going to do about the kid who's counting on me to show up to study hall if I leave and run around and do that? And I might not even be good at that. I know at least I'm kind of good at helping somebody. I might not be good at running around. I might make money and not be good at it, but then guess what? I'll be detached if I leave this world and where my heart is, just for $1. And I think that's me. I don't think it's everybody. Some people are good at making money and being, I guess they say cold and heartless, and you go make money. And maybe you help people by giving money. But for me, I got to help one individual.
One of the things I heard you say, and I have it written down, you taught it to me the last time. And then when we had a podcast, we talked about it. And I just want you to reiterate it here. I think one of the huge themes in your leadership style is when I heard you say in the Netflix series, you said rules without relationships equals Rebellion. And I've got that written down, man. And I thought, me
too. That was powerful.
Holy smokes. Like that is like people that lead through compliance.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to do things. And you will comply versus the people that lead through building relationships and they focus on the why to do something and the what and the how is easy. Where did you learn that, dude? Like, where did you learn that?
Man, good friend of mine, we played together. Actually, he was just coaching with the Lakers. I played with him in college, and I started coaching his younger brother, and his dad came up to me, man, who, passed away. And he said, John, you're coaching amazing. He said, let me whisper something in you. He hugged me. He would give the best hugs. His name was Mark Penberthy, but Mike Penberthy coached with the Lakers, and just, I think they just got let go. He was with that group with Coach. His dad hugs me and whispers in my ear, just remember, rules without relationship equals rebellion. And I just was like, why would he just tell me that? And that's been stuck in my ear. And I think he got it passed down from someone. But that was like the first kind of, solid wisdom, like just pinpoint wisdom, impressionable wisdom that I got, he told me, and it stuck with me. And I always remember that. Like whenever I see a young man or anybody who doesn't want to listen to me, even little kids, it works on little babies. You can take a 5-year-old and you say, hey, sit down and do this. They won't sit down. You take a 5-year-old and before you tell them to sit down, you say, hey, here's color. Do you like to color? What is this? What's your favorite color? What do you like to eat? What's your snack? Then you tell the 5-year-old, hey, have a seat here. And guess what? They're going to go sit down. It's the same thing with children. It's the same thing with adults. It just works, man, to build a relationship because they know you have a genuine interest in them. And you won't lead them astray, man.
What's amazing is
my son.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the players has a little kid here, unfortunately, but it's unfortunate. single dad. Kid is running all over the place, just going crazy. He's like, Coach, you can't get him to sit down. You can't. And I'm just like, okay, all right, fine. I give him something to play with. Here's the what's your name? What do you want to eat? What's the game? Here's a Gatorade. Here's this. Here's that. Just all these little things, talking to him, coming on his level with communication. And then all of a sudden the kid looks up at me and he's like, this guy is different, because I'm communicating on his level. I'm talking with him. I'm talking about cartoons. He's like, what? You know what I'm, you know what I just watched this morning? Like, this guy is hearing, he's talking my language. And then all of a sudden I could say, go sit over here. And then he like calmed down and he sat down, and it was, and I think that is some truth into that in adults and at every level, man.
What's amazing is that in corporate world, the tolerance for the time that it takes to build those relationships versus the easier in mentality, people think it's easier just to make people comply. I thought about something. I wrote this down for you. Do not confuse coach's kindness with weakness. And that is a very powerful statement when I think about you and the way that you build relationships, the way that you invest emotion and compassion into these individuals. It is not to be confused with weakness, because it is very, very powerful. And that's not so celebrated a lot of time, Johnny. When you see people struggling on their teams, you'll see a leader's leader say, you're not tough enough on them. You got to make them comply or what have you. And it's like they're smoking something if they think that is going to work. So I really like that about you. Do not confuse your kindness and compassion with weakness. It's actually very powerful.
Well, he's so intimate with the team.
Situation with Joe, and I think a lot of times we would see, and maybe I didn't want to embarrass Joe. Maybe I knew that he wouldn't be able to take that as much as me going behind closed doors. And I shared with him one time, I said, Joe, let me tell you something. The next time I ask the guys, and this was private, they didn't even have this on film, I need you to be disciplined. You need to let me discipline you. You need to let me. I said, that's a part of being a man, a part of growing, a part of being leadership. That's a part of changes. Allow me to discipline you as well. I knew he was at a maturity level. He just, he was at a mature level. He just didn't know how to be a leader in that maturity. His responses were poor because he was one of the better players. He was older than some of those guys. But let's use that, and let's use it in a way that if you allow me to discipline you in this situation, you'll have an impact on these guys. And I think there's some lessons in understanding how to teach them how to be disciplined, how to accept criticism, how to accept. And but it just takes time, man. It takes so much time. And when everybody asks, well, how do you do it? It's not just going out. I told one coach, hey, maybe take young man out they called me and asked me a couple months ago, maybe take them out to dinner and, just build a relationship. They took them out to dinner, once or twice. And it's not the action, it's the idea of taking them out to dinner. It's building a relationship. It's not the action that's going to do it. It's the idea of building a relationship. And what are your intentions behind taking them out to dinner? Finding out, man, I got to find out how to help you. I got to find out how to help you. And I think that's how I approach it. Not to celebrate it myself or anything, but that's just me, man. And it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us reach more people. This show is brought to you by Force Management, where we help companies improve sales performance, executing the growth strategy at the point of sale. Check out forcemanagement.com for more information.